Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video we're going to be running through is YMAG Europe's YMAX and everything that we learned at the Nasdaq event. So we got back from the YieldMax Nasdaq event and Mike Venuto from the team gave us some insight into why YMAG and YMAP was actually created for Europe and how it compares to the US powerhouse YMAX. So the reason why I'm making this video is because Mike Venuto actually told us when we was at the event that he wanted to create YMAX, or YieldMax wanted to create YMAX, but they couldn't own the underlyings of the YieldMax ETFs in UCITS rules. So they've created a fund that replicates YMAX as close as possible while being in regulation rules. And let's take a deep dive into exactly what I mean by that. And you let me know at the end of this video whether you think they actually built a better YMAX for Europe than the US one, because personally I think that is exactly what's happened here. So if we look at YMAX, we've actually got a diversified YieldMax ETF of ETFs, bundling high volatility income positions using covered calls on individual names and sectors. So if we look at YMAX holdings, we've actually got 31 positions. So I will read through all these so you can see exactly what it actually owns. So we've got Airbnb, there's the AI option income ETF by YieldMax, AMD, Amazon, Apple, Alibaba, Coinbase, Kavana, Disney, Meta, Gold Miners ETF, Google, Robinhood, JP Morgan, Mara, Microsoft, MicroStrategy, Netflix, Nvidia, Arc Innovation ETF, Palantir, PayPal, Supro Microcomputer, Snowflake, Tesla, ExxonMobil, Block, and then they have their own Bitcoin ETF exposure, Moderna, Maro, and Taiwan Semiconductor. So as we can see, we've actually got quite a lot of things within YMAX. So what's the strategy for YMAX? Covered calls across volatile growth stocks and ETFs. Mega yield equals weekly / monthly income. That's exactly what YMAX does. So it's very diversified. That's why a lot of people absolutely love YMAX. So now let's take a look at YMAG / YMAP for the European. Due to UCITS regulations, YieldMax could not copy and paste YMAX because they can't own YieldMax ETFs inside and it be UCITS compliant. So instead of that, they created a concentrated tech plus growth equity basket designed to replicate the yield power of YMAX as closely as possible within EU rules. So if you look at YMAG, we've actually got 25 positions versus 31 in YMAX. But if we look at the positions, they're actually very, very close. And I mean, we're talking super close. And the ones that have been took out for a reason. And they've also been replaced with something else, which I think is very smart by the management team at YieldMax. And I think they've done everything exactly set in a way for the best possible fund. So if we look at the 25 holdings that we've actually got, so we've got Coinbase, Palantir, Oracle, Broadcom, Nvidia, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductor, MicroStrategy, Netflix, Microsoft, Intuit, Texas Instruments, Cisco, Meta, Amazon, Google, ServiceNow, Intel, PayPal, Apple, Qualcomm, Adobe, Salesforce, Alibaba, and Tesla. So we have a lot of the same names as what's in YMAX. And the reason why they're not identical is because regulations. For example, the Bitcoin, we haven't got Bitcoin in here because we can't directly invest in Bitcoin in Europe, like in America. So we're using MicroStrategy as a proxy for that. They've took the gold miners out, lightly excluded for UCITS purity. We've got the AI options income / ARC. We can't invest in that because these are by YieldMax ETFs. So they've replaced it with some strong AI companies like Oracle, Salesforce, Intuit, and Adobe. Regulated, revenue strong AI companies. There's a couple of companies there what have not been included by YieldMax, which is actually in YMAX, such as Moderna, minus 70% total return. So there's a reason why they've not put this in here. And also Marathon, minus 14% total return also. So there's a reason that's not in there too. Kavana's not in. It's a higher risk play. Higher risk on the single stock. And also Disney. The stock performance has been very weak on Disney. So that is also not in there. So they've looked at this and they've not added these on purpose for a certain reason. And I think that's great that they've done that. Also, one that's newly launched from YieldMax, which I think we may see in YMAG at some point, is Robinhood. I think it launched in mid 2025 and it's doing absolutely amazing. I think the total returns on 50, 60, 70%. So that's definitely one to watch for the future. See if they do add that to YMAG, because that'll be very interesting if they do. So is this smart moves? Have they cherry picked the winners and put it in YMAG for the European investors? Let me know in the comments what you think. So the ones that have been dropped from YMAX, for example, we've got Bitcoin, ARK, AI ETFs, gold miners, Moderna, and we've got SYCY, semiconductor ETF. But all in that, they've also included it in YMAG with a similar kind of exposure. So MicroStrategies for Bitcoin. Then we've got the AI ETFs. We've got Oracle, Salesforce, Intuit, and Adobe. Then if we look, for example, we've got Moderna and gold miners, what's not been included, either for performance or UCITS compliancy. And then if we look at the SMCY, which is a semiconductor ETF, we've actually got individual holdings for semiconductors, which they've replaced that with. So we've got Broadcom, we've got Taiwan Semiconductors, and then we've got Texas Instruments. So that's great to see that they've cherry-picked the winners. That's actually worked for YieldMax and put it all into this fund called YMAG for European investors, which I think is very, very smart, and it's done very, very good on total returns. I think it's actually still beating the QQQ on total returns, which is absolutely amazing so far. So final verdict, is YMAG Europe's YMAX? Let me know in the comments what you think. I think yes, and I think it's possibly a smarter YMAX than the one in America. It's carefully designed, it's UCITS compliant version of YMAX. It's delivering covered call income, focuses on big tech and AI leaders, and it looks like it's removed the losers from YMAG, and it's just, I think they've picked the best YMAX funds that are out there and put them into this ETF for us. And I think it's a very smart play long term, built for long term income and growth in Europe. How do you think this fund is going to do long term? Let me know in the comments. Do you prefer this cherry-picked YMAG version, or would you prefer it to be closer to YMAX? This could be the start of YieldMax's European domination, and YMAG might be the flagship fund that leads the way. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.
Talk about Snowball. If you want 10% off Snowball, please use the promo code below and my link below, Cashflow King, to get 10% off. If you would like to use my pie so you can invest exactly the same as I do and the rest of the people who have also copied my pie, a lot of people have also pulled the trigger on this. If you want to join a Discord also with other like-minded investors, you can do that. Join our Discord, guys. Let's get talking.
Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, guys, and also hit the notification bell to keep updated with future video. Thank you, guys, and I will see you in the next one.